Today on the show, we are going to be making one-shots for rap producers with the Moog One. This is going to give you access to the sound of the Moog One in your production without the $10,000 cost or the struggle of not knowing what the hell any of these buttons do. Ooh, we're back. All of these sounds are going to be available for you to download as a royalty-free one-shot kit, or if you're an Octave Deluxe user, drum roll please. I don't know why we use that. You can take it one step farther by downloading these sounds as an expansion pack to use inside of Octave Deluxe. Yes, you're gonna get that today. This will give you the sound of the Moog One, the quality, the texture, all combined with the Octave Deluxe features so you can make something just like this. So I have a little confession, guys. I've been capping. See, that $10,000 Moog that's in there is actually a $10,000 MIDI controller, because the first 12 months that I've had this thing, I have not used it for its sounds. I've been using it to control other plugins inside of FL Studio, which is a damn shame. I think because of the price, a lot of individuals weren't able to get the Moog One, at least for the first 12 months or so. And I got it right as soon as it dropped. Like, as soon as I saw that video with Mike Dean using it, I was like, man, I gotta get this thing. And it wasn't until I started seeing tutorials pop up on YouTube, you know, hour, 2 hour long tutorials, really doing the deep dive and fully understanding how you can route to different destinations and use all these different envelopes and filters and stuff really creatively to do your sound design. That's when I started to fall in love with this thing, and it's now become my go-to for sound design. I think for a lot of producers, we like to think that we're gonna go buy all this crazy gear and it's gonna improve our production. And then we get the gear and we never even set it up. We let it collect dust in the corner. We use it a couple times and never use it again. And I think the biggest problem or the hurdle that we need to get over, and this is, I'm speaking to myself here, is that we need to learn how to not only make it work, but work in our current setup. And what I realized, what really cracked the code for me, was figuring out how to get it to work inside of FL Studio. So what I'm gonna show you today is how I routed and set up my Moog to work inside of FL20, but you could actually do this with any DAW and honestly any piece of gear that has MIDI. I'm gonna walk over to the studio now. We'll hop into FL20 and I'll show you exactly what I did to get my Moog set up for recording. So what you can do with your external gear, whether it is the Moog One or another piece of equipment, is actually go to your MIDI out. So your MIDI out is going to be able to communicate most likely with the majority of any of the products or equipment that you have that has MIDI in and MIDI out. So what's actually happening here is I'm routing to the port that I have it set up on my piece of equipment. So for yourself, this could be a different port. That's something that you need to set up. You can actually set this up all inside of your MIDI options here, and then also just double check it on your actual piece of equipment, because you won't be able to speak to it if it isn't internally set up correctly. What's great about this, and this is a really old feature, something that FL Studio has been doing for a while, and I imagine most DAWs do, it has the capability to actually create these knobs, and with these knobs you're able to automate features inside of your external piece of equipment. So for myself, what I actually did is I was able to create, and by the way, if you hit presets here, you'll see that there's a lot of different synthesizers and stuff already set up. There wasn't one yet for the Moog One, but I created my own version here. So as you can see for the Moog One, now that I open it up, I have access to control my volume, my cutoff, my modulators, my ring mod, my release, my pitch, and I can actually have multiple different pages and stuff, which I have for different settings. So then what I can do is I can come in here and I can actually play the piano roll, and it is going to speak to the Moog, and it is actually going to play those notes because the MIDI is correct. And then on top of that, now that I have these synced to different features inside of the Moog One, I'm able to control the volume and different things like that. So then when I actually route it back into my channel, which it comes in for me on 5 and 6, when I route that back in, if I need to lower the volume, or if I don't like how the cutoff is, or etc, I can actually fool around with things all here internally without needing to constantly go back and forth between my PC and my Moog, which honestly has been a big game changer. Make a quick coffee, then we'll hop into today's tutorial. Hopefully you can see all of the different settings. I'm not going to go too far into the settings today, but I will show you one of my favorite things about this Moog. So what we can do is we have this sound. That's what it sounds like right now. But what I can do is actually switch the modulation so that it is attached essentially to, like, let's say the pitch. And then I can actually use one of these different envelopes to control the pitch. So right now we have this. If I move the pitch, sounds pretty interesting. But what I could do is I could actually attach that pitch movement to one of these envelopes over here. So if I just hit destination, then I actually turn the pitch envelope, sorry, the pitch modulation. I'll add that as a destination. Now take a listen. As you can see, if I actually switch that envelope, you'll hear the pitch now go. And then it drops down. So you can do this with a bunch of the different settings and parameters along the Moog, which is really interesting because yeah, you can just get some really cool things, especially with the pitch and the different modulations. They have the modulation panel right here, and you can see the different modulations that might be happening in a preset. You can add to them, and then also you can load your modulations. So I actually have a couple in there. Woo. I think we got one. This is one. We got one. Got another one. Do something like. Woo! This one sounds crazy. What you can hear there too is the aftertouch. So when I touch something, I have it set up so if I push really hard, it slightly pitches it. What I'm also able to do is when I'm actually recording this, I'm doing the same process. So I'm actually lightly playing with some of the pitch modulation and stuff, so you get that same sound or that same feeling where we'll hold a note and maybe a couple seconds in, you'll hear that pitch change happen, that pitch modulation with the aftertouch. So I love this one. I'm gonna record this. That's crazy bass. Woo! Look at this bass. This is a crazy one. Listen to this. Go from this to go. So right now what I'm going to do is throw these files into FL Studio and clean them up. I'm not going to show you this process because it's going to take several hours and it's quite boring, but if you guys do want to see what I'm doing here, leave a comment below, and in another video I can actually explain exactly what I'm doing to clean these up. Once they're all cleaned up, I'll send them to our developer to add into Octave as an expansion pack. It's going to take several days, so until then, here is some producer news you can use with Grant Ketty.
Thank you, Jacob. It looks like we've got a large soft clipper system making its way through the area today. I would be prepared for some torrential gain, and the drums are going to kick us in the back of the head by early afternoon. We're in for a real doozy here today, Jacob, so hunker down in your bunker and grab a neck brace and let your head bang today.
Woo! It's going to be fun. That's nice. It's so airy. You could do something like that just for the drums for the verse, and then pull it back out. Make it dry again for the hook. That's what I love about especially some of these fuller sounding analog pieces of equipment like the Moog. It's just, it has this like warmth, this fullness to it that you literally could do the exact same pattern, same melody, whatever it is, over the entire course of a song. And just by like cutting out some of the frequencies like I just did there you have the verse, bringing the frequencies back in, make it big again, that's where you have the hook, and you don't have to do anything other than that. Just listen to that. You could hold these, like that movement going around you. Woo! It sounds bad, but in like a good way. Like, all right, I got a little secret here. You guys shouldn't even know that this exists, but it's somewhere. Easter egg, wink, wink. In Octave. So maybe there's some extra sounds that you guys can get if you can figure this one out. To all my Octave Deluxe users, go check your inbox. All of the sounds that we made today using the Moog One are available for you to use for free inside of Octave Deluxe. Go check out the link in your inbox. This expansion pack is going to give you access to the full expressive sound of all of the presets that we made today with the textures inside of Octave Deluxe. And if you don't have Octave Deluxe, it's all good, we still got you. We're going to be giving you some free one-shots that we made today from the presets. You can actually use these kind of like an instrument. We put the looping points inside of the one shot so you can play them inside of FL Studio or whatever DAW you like. Kind of like an instrument. It's not fully there, but it's definitely better than some of the one shots without that feature. And as a thank you to everybody watching, we are giving away 3 free copies of Octave Deluxe. Just comment below with your favorite preset that we made today, and 3 random viewers are going to win a version of Octave Deluxe. Like every other YouTuber out there, like and subscribe to the channel, because next time on the show, we are making custom presets and expansion packs with guitar pedals. Talk to you guys soon.